looking back, I enjoyed my childhood.
Yes, I did.
In spite of a few years of
I did
poor
enjoy
health,
it, yeah, yeah.
I really.
Yeah. Though we didn't have a lot of money, there was a lot of love in the house. And my mother and father had a chip shop. And my granny used to come and get me to bring me home, give me a bath, and then take me back to the chip shop because my mother and father were always in the shop.
I was the youngest of 7. My mother had 2 daughters, but they'd each died over the years, one from an epidemic of measles and one from pneumonia. So I was born into a family of boys, for which reason I was very thoroughly spoiled.
We all used to play in the streets then. We were always in the streets playing, yeah. And I think we were all in the same boat, you know what I mean? We were not. We were all right, but we were never up, if you know what I mean.
My mother, it must have been a very hard life for my mother because she seemed to have a child every 2 years. She's got her own home and family to look after, and she was looking after my grandma and my mother's 2 brothers as well. And she used to have to do this dressing on my mother's leg every day. And she really did have quite a hard life. So by the time the luxuries came along, she was almost too tired to enjoy them.
The family was more together because I can always remember at Christmas time, my father's 2 brothers would be round with their family, and I can see my dad and my mother, my dad and my Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Dick, and they'd all be singing in the living room with their arms out round each other, and they always used to be singing Sweet Adeline. Always at Christmas we got that. But it was because all the family was there, and it was lovely, you know.
As it happens, my dad was an over-generous man, and he used to buy things like he'd have whole crates of fruit delivered for all the children. And there always seemed to be lots of children that lived in the same, each street round about, and he'd have them, sent round to all the kiddies and things like that. But he was a very generous man.
I was at my grandma's, and my cousin was there with us, and there was somebody singing in the street, and I remember my grandma was upstairs and she shouted down to my cousin, Anne, go out and give that poor man a penny. And she said, what man, Grandma? She said, the man singing in the street. She said, that was me.
Brass Prince Chief Monolulu, that was his title, at his say-so. I remember this particular one simply because he was always covered in feathers, which used to fascinate the kids, that if somebody saw him before he got to the door, say, run in the house and say, Brass Prince is coming down the street,
Social life, well, it was like...
We used to go dancing.
Yeah.
When we were in our... say from about 17, we used to go dancing once a week. Dancing was very popular, ballroom dancing. And it just became part of your life, didn't it?
It did, and everybody had a piano.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And there was always one person in the family that could play the piano.
Yeah.
And so there was always friends coming round and relatives coming round, and we'd all wind up in the front room with the piano and a sing-song.
Well, one of my brothers could all play the piano. and one of my brothers could play a guitar and one could play a mandolin, and my mother could play a mandolin.
Oh,
so we
lovely.
always had, they're only small houses, but we always had a house full.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my mother telling me about when she was younger, and my grandfather was a lamplighter, and when he used to go out, he used to say, "Now, Lizzie Ann, you don't open this door to nobody at night." And this particular night, the door went, and when she went, she didn't open the door, and she said, "Who is it?" And she said, this voice came, and he said, it's a stranger. And she said, I didn't know what to do, so I said, be off with you, be off with you. We don't want any strangers here, be off with you. And it was something she never got over, because it seems the next day, further on up the street, they found the poor man dead in the street. It seems he'd come from Liverpool trying to get a job.
This is a really, really important part of all our history, really. The books in here are incredible. And this is Tommy, who I'd like to introduce you to.
Hello. Hi.
And this is the lady whose name I can't remember, and I've just gone completely mad.
Hi. Well, my name's Caroline, and I work here at the Working Class Movement Library. And the library has got a collection of books and archives and documents and objects all about working people in Salford and Manchester, but also across Britain, and how, I suppose the collection kind of documents how working people have tried to make their lives better for each other and for the rest of the world. And so the young people are here today to have a look through our collection of books to see what they can find out about life 100 years ago, so in 1909, and maybe a little bit before and during that period. So hopefully we've got lots of documentation, reports and pictures that they can be inspired by to help with their film, their research.
Just looking at some books to get more information about 1909.
Is it fun, yeah?
Yeah, learning about children who had to work when they was about 2.
I'm Jackie Carroll. I'm going to be working a lot on the production of the film. But it was my idea today to bring the group over to the Working Class History Library, because I think it's a very special place. And they're so blessed that it's in Salford. And it was set up many, many years ago by Ruth and Eddie Frau, who's sadly no longer with us, who set up a library in their own house with as many collection of books about the working classes, about the working class movement, about historical moments where the working classes overruled the ruling classes. You know, it's all young people really need to know these things, and I don't believe they're taught very properly in schools these days. Young people get to know their history when they get to university, but in schools they're still studying the same kings and queens and very rarely get to know their own social history. So I think it's really important today that the young people know that this library is here, and they actually come to use the library throughout their lives and tell their children about it and their children. It's fantastic that Salford has this library on its doorstep.
But we need to find out how people actually spoke, because the words of thou, thy and thine and whereof were pretty much used, but I don't know if it carried forward to Salford. Was a very working man's place. There was a lot of poor people here, hungry people, but a lot of ambitious people as well.
We've learned how the kids worked then and about the rich and poor lives, how they lived.
Started working when I was 5, 6.
Like, the poor people lived in places like slums, and all the rich people had like proper houses to like stay in and read.
Boys always wore flat caps and girls always wore like dresses.
Yeah. If they was rich.
Yeah, girls
For the poor ones just wore anything they could find.
Buon Appennini!
Well, we're here on our first session of You Cant Buy Time. As you can see, it's a bit hectic. Everybody talking and discussing the film. Hopefully as the weeks go by it'll all make sense to people and hopefully it'll turn out to be a real good film.
Get off, no, mate, pull the camera off, Stuart, and I've gone to do some filming.
Give a minute, how are you?
Okay.
Who are you in the film?
Shop boy.
Oh, you're the rotten shop boy, aren't you? I forgot that, yes. You're too young to be a shop boy, you know, they wouldn't have allowed you. I would have made you a shoplifter. That's what I'd have had you doing, stealing the fruit off the barrows outside.
Why are you on record? 3, why did you go that close into my head? 4, why are you laughing? 5, why... You know what, there's not even a 5.
6, why are you still going on about numbers?
I'm tailoring him. I'm just checking for his sizes. Going on inches.
Paul? What's your name, Paul?
Yeah,
it's
Mini Paul. It's Tedder. What we're doing now, just measuring his collar size, because we're suiting him up for the pass.
We're going to the Royal Exchange to get our costumes.
You got to make sure you got to get it tight, pretty firm, so you get the correct measurement. It says there 13, but we don't want to choke him, so we're going to give him a 12.
Not yet, anyway.
No, 14.
As you can see, it's been a bit hectic tonight. Everybody's getting measured up for the clothes for the 1909 scenes, the girls and boys.
Well, just been measures and everything for the street urchins. It's pretty exciting, but a little bit scary because as it's my first, but I think I'll soon get used to it.
What's it to your nana when she's talking?
What?
No, it's okay. Different back then though. No iPods, no TV, no nothing. We had to talk, otherwise we went mad. And I don't know who what I'm doing.
Well, we got iPods and TVs, so why don't we talk to each other if we're living together?
This is what happens at the beginning. It is a bit hectic, but
Like, you didn't like giving back to me?
it'll get sorted out and quite sure it'll be all spot on when it's finished. Doing alright, first shoot of the day, or say first shoot of the film. Trying to set up now, sort out the angles and stuff like that. Bit hectic as normal first day, but I'm sure we'll get it all right on the day.
We're waiting for a whole rehearsal. We've got to come downstairs, come in there, come get me suit, go back in there, and then we're like, yo, and then go outside. So yeah.
We're here today at my daughter's house, Nicola. She's been good enough to let us do the opening scenes of You Cant Buy Time. It's quite hectic here today because we've got all the cast in there and all the crew who are rehearsing now. It's fantastic and Nicola allowed us to come in. Leslie's role today is...
My role is to make sure everyone's fed and watered and got enough brews and everyone's just enjoying themselves.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good Bob's cheating.
I'm just looking at these.
Try to run through it.
I've just stepped in at the last minute. It's the first time I've worked with this group, but it's been really good up to now. They're a little bit behind schedule, but not much. And everybody seems very professional in what they're doing. It's great.
We've done the first scene. We just wanted something to eat because we're all starving. And then we're going to do the final scene. With the parents, not the parents, the mother and the nana and the young Jack coming back as a changed character. Good boy, changed character.
It's the first day and it's all going well. All the costumes are sorted, more or less. We get all them on Friday, pick them all up. And today, everyone has been absolutely brilliant. Everyone's known all the lines, no one's lost everything. They've been so patient. And we're only half an hour behind schedule, so I think that's a bit of a miracle, really. Well done, everyone.
at Portland Basin Museum, and we shall be filming the inside the old Victorian buildings. We have our own little Oliver, but he is needed. Shoot so long. He's going to get pinned. Was there soap? I think not. Exhibit A. No soap. Dirty feet.
Nail polish feet.
Nail polish feet. Hang on a sec. This one. She's got a bit of dirt on the nose. Somebody needs a bath. Getting our thing on. We've got to be a bit more.
Thing on.
Yeah. We've got to be a bit more untwitchy.
Yeah, it keeps coming in and then looking me up and down like very.
It's habit, it's natural
in a very-
instinct.
in a very sexual predator kind of way, so it's quite scary. He's like,
No,
"Rrr,
mate.
Emma, rrr."
4 years, Emma, I just can't resist. Being around hairdressers myself, I feel quite like myself. I feel a bit modern, I feel a bit weird, but shh, this is my interview. Can't get the help these days. And looks like a very interested guy in his job. So, I'm alright with it.
It's the second day of the shoot. We're filming in another museum in Ashton-on-the-Line. This is the house that we're actually going to be filming in. It's one of the 1909 scenes. As you can see, everybody's in there rehearsing. So far it's going very well. And you can see there's a lot of cast and crew in there. So I'm waiting for the outcome of it now.
I feel like really old, even though I'm not. It just doesn't feel like myself. Just it's as if we have actually travelled back. I mean, from the way we're dressing, from that guy being a weirdo, and everything. It's just weird. Oh yeah, and Nancy being a weirdo.
Yeah, it's a bit weird today because obviously we have a youth club every week, but we've actually got to now attend it to Youth Club Day, which is good really because a lot of the young people who come in here regularly, we know what they're doing and what they're playing, so it's a bit weird really, but yeah, it'll go well.
Well, now we've got the youth club set up, so we're going to be filming that. So if you'd like to come in, here we have our youth worker. We have the twins who look nothing alike, but they'll be playing. We've got the rich girls over there. We've got our dodgy dealer there and his accomplice. We've got the gamers over there. And me and Emma are going to have us. I'm going to have to give it a 20 minutes.
The camera off Stuart, and I'm going to take over. This is the new girl, and yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Can you just tell us how you feel about having to step in at the last moment and take on the bully part?
Alright.
She's pretty good, by the way. Anything else? Come on, you've got to speak.
No.
Talk.
No.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's good. It's a nice piece.
Cool. Is that all you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel about filming this morning, Steve?
Well, I'm kind of used to it by now, but it was a really good experience as always. So yeah.
Do you like the character that you're playing?
Yeah, kind of just grabs me in a way.
And do you enjoy the film?
Yeah, like always.
Cool.
Hi, John.
Can you tell us about your bit of an acting experience today? Your little like one-shot wonder. Well, sort of. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it wasn't in one shot.
Yeah, you show off. I know. I was just exaggerating to make it look good for the camera mic here. You made yourself look crap now.
Can we start again then?
No.
Filming the corridor scene there where Kane's getting bullied off
Try that again.
Mary.
Try that again.
And
Getting that, your eyes are really good. Can be
he's sticking up for himself and he's got his friends going, no, you're not stealing from us again. And then she's going, but we want to steal from you because you've got money that I want, because my mum's going to kill me if not.
Well, this is the magic code that transports me and Jack back and forward to 1909. I told him not to put it on, but as you can see, he's got it on. And he's just come back from the past.
Hoorah! That's all I can say.
Yes, to fly.
Jesus, must be my lucky day. What is that? You always had a bit of that, no? Aye, that's it. I'm walking clarity. I'm a walking clarity. Walking clarity.
I got kicked out there before. I was sleeping in the coal shed. I don't understand why.
This is something they could actually build on this. I think it's smaller than it should be. This could be twice the size easily. They could take it into another realm altogether. They could make it bigger, the actual place itself. And the way everything's so authentic, everything in the shops is authentic. All the stuff, there's no replication there, nothing has been manufactured, it's original stuff, apart from the brick. The brick's been rejigged, cleaned up, I think, and put in here. And I can have my hair cut there when I finish.
It's our final day of our shoot. As you can see, we're down in Larkin Place, one of our major sets. But at the moment, we're having a few difficulties with the light and that, but we'll get it sorted out. Everybody's upstairs changing, ready for the scenes now, so we're hoping everything's going to be okay. We're here till 10 o'clock tonight. Hopefully, once we start things sorted out, we might be able to fly through it. So.
What? Telling you now, I might be, don't mess with me, alright?
Let's have a fight.
Seriously, don't mess with me, alright?
Bare knuckle basket.
I'm
Come
not
on,
in the mood.
get out.
Get away.
On the street.
Get out.
Come on.
Away, now.
Come on.
Away, now.
Out on the street.
Don't want to mess with me.
You might stab me with a shadow.
Mess with me, sunshine. Right. Out. Stay out.
Yeah, you do.
Everyone's done.
I really honestly got to say that was the hardest night's work I've ever done in my life, but Terry's probably had it a lot harder than me. My nerves are shot to death because we probably just done 15 hours, real, what should have been 15 hours in 5 hours under duress. I just pray to the Lord that it looks alright. Thank you.
We're finished. Happy days. My mum's coming to pick me up. Gonna go home, put my feet in a foot spa or get my mum to massage them because they're killing. So.
Always ask if your pairs are soft.
Oh, that was off.